We really appreciate you making WKRG your favorite news at 9. Next, what's to blame for why the first attempt at a U.S. lunar landing in over 5 decades failed? Welcome in, I'm Alexa Daly. Thanks for joining us tonight for WKRG News 5 at 10. Only a week into the 2024 spring break season, and the Gulf Shores Police Department has already been hard at work making sure the beaches are kept safe. WKRG News 5's Haley Kennedy joins us now with the stats from the first week of spring break. Welcome back to WKRG News 5 at 9. It's time to now count down the 5 things you need to know tonight at 9. Well, Pete, Pensacola police say the driver of that vehicle had a medical emergency and crashed here into the backyard of the home and into the home here on 12th Avenue. Now you can see the damage that was done. That's right, Devin. We actually are just kicking off now. We have set up shop here with our new friends. They got out here at 5 a.m. this morning to get ready.
What did you eat first? Because I would have gone straight for the crawfish.
That is a great idea, Cherish, but I've got this po' boy here that I'm waiting to get into. But it's a beautiful day to kick off the Seafood Festival here at Seville Square. That's right, emergency crews used rescue boats to get residents here at Forest Creek Apartment through the floodwaters that filled the complex's parking lot. And as you can see behind me, the water levels still haven't really changed since early this morning. A chaotic morning as severe flooding leads to evacuations.
I'm not gonna lie, I was scared because it was just too much. You know, I can hear the wind, the house was lit up, the lights went off.
The rising water outside the Forest Creek Apartments didn't leave much time for residents to react. Some still in their pajamas as rescuers got them to safety. Children piled into the Escambia County Sheriff's high water rescue vehicles and were hoisted off of the truck onto drier land. But for those at Forest Creek, this is not the first time they've experienced an evacuation like this.
It's about my 4th time witnessing it since I've been living here, and I've been living on this street for 22 years. So it's a very sad situation because some people, instead of them leaving, they continue staying, and that's not good or healthy.
Laura Mera is a local advocate and mother of a resident. She was out there Friday morning urging residents to leave. She says she's also been in this situation 4 times before.
This was built years ago on top of a swamp. There were no retaining ponds put in. So whenever you have a storm, a lot of rain in Escambia County District 2, this is going to continue to happen.
Now she wants to see something done.
I want to see this knocked down. I want to see these tenants moved out. Move to somewhere safe, somewhere for them to live. They don't have to worry about issues like this, flooding, and having to find somewhere to go.
ECAP buses have transported residents out of the area and brought some to local community centers. While some residents decided to stay, Escambia County Fire Rescue tells us everybody that wanted to leave is now safe. Live in Escambia County, Alexa Daly, WKRG News 5. Chris Smelly is back on Grayton Beach with his loved ones, resuming his vacation and feeling grateful to be alive.
Probably the toughest part was knowing how my wife was feeling and what she was thinking about, and my kids. You know, when you hear ocean and missing, it's not a good combination. And so I'm just very thankful today.
The head football coach at Sylacauga headed out for a fishing trip in a kayak Thursday morning, but got swept away.
Pretty quickly, as soon as I got offshore just a little bit, I knew that I was in trouble. The wind, once right offshore, was blowing really, really hard. And I was sitting up tall in the kayak and was basically just a wind sail.
As time passed, several law enforcement agencies searched for Smelly as his family waited anxiously for answers. But help was coming.
It had been all day, so at that point I threw out my fishing gear again, and I caught a fish and was getting ready to clean it and be prepared to eat it that night if I had to. And right as I was doing that, the helicopter showed up right behind me.
This video shows the moment a U.S. Coast Guard helicopter spotted Smelly in the kayak nearly 2 miles offshore from Grayton Beach. He would soon be reunited with family friends who set out in the search.
He said, well, there's a private boat that's coming up. And so I looked up and I saw we have some family friends that own a restaurant, Harbor Docks in Destin. And when I saw their boat coming up, I was pretty sure I knew who it was. And they had been out searching for me for a couple of hours. So that was kind of a neat reunion to ride back into Destin with them.
Smelly says he is touched by the outpouring support.
Once the whole ordeal was over with, just like looking at Facebook and Twitter and my phone and all the text messages that I had received, probably one of the neatest was my football team at Sylacauga had gotten together with our football team chaplain and had done a big prayer service.
For now, Smelly says he plans on enjoying the rest of his vacation with his family. Reporting in Walton County, Alexa Daly, WKRG News 5. That's right, Cherish. No, it did not. A lot of people still here hanging out on Pensacola Beach as the Blue Angels wrapped up another amazing air show. And everybody's ready to come back tomorrow and do it all again. Spectators watched in awe Friday as the Blue Angels took the sky.
All I can say is you need to come. You can't explain it. You have to be here to experience it. You really do. It's just something about it. It's exhilarating to me.
It's a show locals and tourists alike look forward to year after year.
I'm very excited to watch the Blue Angels.
I'm from Pensacola, and I take pride in the fact that they are my homeboys. And I've been watching them since I was a kid, and I have not missed a show in probably 20 years.
And this year, even more special for Pensacola Beach Air Show Air Boss Paul Entrican on his 30th anniversary. Today, the man who makes it all happen is reflecting on his journey thus far.
I hope people learn that you can be persistent and tenacious and still have a good time. Life is too short to not smile and have a good time doing what you're doing. That's why I love what I do out here.
Entrican, a local naval aviator, is the man responsible for coordinating an entertaining and safe show.
This is going to be a very special show this year with some very unique aerobatic flying.
Tomorrow, the crowds will be back out here, ready to watch the full show with civilian acts starting at 12 and the Blues flying at 2.
All of the different aspects of American society together as one fellowship and having a great day.
Just as a reminder that if you are coming tomorrow, you can't be flying anything like drones or kites before or during the show, and you must stay out of the water while the planes are flying. They also say to prepare to get here early. It can take up to 90 minutes just to get on the beach, let alone getting your spot on the sand. You guys saw how crowded it was out there today, but if you're coming tomorrow, expect an even bigger crowd, but get ready for a good time. Live on Pensacola Beach, Alexa Daly, WKRG News 5. The incidents range from graffiti around the city to bricks being thrown into places of worship. Now, Pensacola Police Chief Eric Randall has a message for whoever's responsible.
We're going to find you, and we're going to stop you. And working with our partners, we're going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law.
The most recent incident sparking concern, graffiti on the I-110 ramp that was discovered Friday. According to Pensacola Police, that makes the 5th incident within the city since July 14th, including a case at Pensacola Chabad Center where a brick was also thrown through their window. The Pensacola Police Department says they're working with state, local, and federal partners to find out who's responsible.
We're utilizing, surveillance cameras. That's always one of the greatest things we have in today's society is camera footage. But a whole host of other tools, from the law enforcement arena that we have.
Just before the graffiti was found on the I-110 ramp, police discovered that 2 bricks were thrown through a window at Temple Bethel. But those at Temple Bethel say they're focusing on the positivity of the community coming together rather than the hate.
These acts of hatred are not indicative of Pensacola. They're not indicative of Northwest Florida. This, thankfully, is very much the exception rather than the rule, and the experience is the acts of kindness and love that we've been receiving since words of these incidents have spread.
Pensacola police are looking for anyone with any information at all to come forward and remind you that you can remain anonymous. In Pensacola, Alexa Daly, WKRG News 5.